Hey, good morning, everybody. How are we today? It is Monday. Oh, I almost said it's Friday. It's Monday. It is Monday. How was everybody's weekend? I'm sure everyone probably will say good and bad for the weekend. It was a tough weekend for a lot of people. Of course, I don't need to be the one to tell you that Chadwick Boseman passed away over the weekend, and it's certainly a sad and shocking thing that happened over the weekend. And I know a few people who really were reeling over it. So, look, I don't need to necessarily go into my thoughts about it. I think many people have over the last few days have expressed exactly how I feel about the tragicness of it. And if you're hurting, look, it's weird how sometimes, celebrities or actors or musicians or what have you sort of like affect your life, when you may not have even met them ever, but their work affected you. Their movies, their roles, their music, their art affects you. And so in part ways, especially nowadays, you kind of feel like you have some sort of connection to them. So it always amazes me, the level of outpouring people have for people that, realistically you've never met before. But that just, and that goes to show the incredible impact that Chadwick had throughout his life. His last tweet, the one that announced his passing, became the highest liked tweet ever. And it's not about like breaking records. It's so stupid. Like, I saw some of the comments in it. Oh, we're recognizing a stupid tweet. Well, it's not. No, it's not that. It's the fact that this person, this individual, and his art and his outpouring of support and love for people affected that many people. And the idea, and I know some people are saying it in the chat right now, and the idea that he was doing all, most of his work later, obviously, the last 4 years of his life, putting out all this work while going through what he went through is unbelievable. I mean, the strength, emotional and physical strength that he had to have to do that is a testament to why people were inspired by him. My favorite role of Chadwick's was 42, when he played Jackie Robinson. That's my favorite role. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It's a movie that Chadwick was even able to elevate Harrison Ford to not phone in a performance. And I thought he was incredible as Jackie Robinson, for sure. So extremely heartbreaking news. Extremely. And don't there certainly are going to be conversations in the next, however many days of what to do next. And I'll just say this. In the offices of Marvel, they're also talking about this. Now they've known for much longer than all of us, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Okay, I don't know how to transition into something happy from that, but I'm going to attempt to. So it's Monday, so we get to talk box office and movies. So let's here, I'll do my discussion of Bill and Ted's first, and then we'll talk box office, because box office could go a little while. I saw Bill and Ted's this weekend. How many of you saw it? How many? I'm not gonna go like full spoilers, even though I really want to. I'll be honest, I really want to, but I don't know how many people saw it. Maybe another day. Maybe I don't know. Normally, like I'm not like the person who actually more people of you saw it than I thought. Well, actually three people. That's not like everybody. Okay. So here's my thoughts. Here's my non-spoiler thoughts of Bill and Ted's. Look, it certainly was at times very, very charming, and it certainly had its moments. But I gotta say, it didn't hit me. I had a lot of issues with the movies, and look, at the end of the day, it's just a Bill and Ted's movie. So you could yell at me and be like, well, what do you expect? It's a dumb comedy. No, I know that, and I'm not. Look, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but to me, it just didn't it wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. And mostly, honestly, the script was such a hot mess to me. The script was a hot mess. I find that I didn't laugh as much as I hoped. I smiled more than I laughed. And with a comedy, I feel like I should be laughing more than I'm smiling. Now, so I smiled, which means it was nice. It was nice, some of the moments, but I didn't find myself laughing all that much, if I'm being honest. Let me talk about Keanu and Alex Winter. Keanu, I gotta be honest. Keanu, I felt like he couldn't get into it. I felt like he was trying, but couldn't get into it. Now, you saw in the trailer, like, they talked to, like, other Bill and Ted's, and I'm not going to explain how, because that would be part of the plot. So for those who haven't seen it, I'm not gonna explain. But in the trailer, they do show that, like, they talk to other people. And actually, I thought he was Keanu was really good as the other Bill and as the other Ted. Both of them were. Those I like. Those parts actually made me laugh when they were the other Bill and Teds. Now, transversely, the flat out winner star of this film was Alex Winter. Alex Winter was the best part of this movie. It made me feel so bad that I'm not bad, but like we missed out on a guy who could have been an incredible comedic actor the last 10 years. He was so good. Alex Winter was so good in this movie. His comedic timing was on. He fell back into the role. He was great as the other Bill and Ted's. He was very good at the comedic and emotional moments. Alex Winter was great. Alex Winter saved this movie for me. Every time he was on screen, I was more focused on him than I was Keanu. So he did a great job. The absence of George Carlin was felt. But I mean, what could you do, right? What could you do? So there's also one of the biggest issues I have about this film. First of all, a lot of it makes no sense. I gotta be honest. Like the traveling around and what's happening in the movie, as far as, you know, what they need to do to save the day, makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. The actress who replaced Carlin only does shitty comedy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I forget her name. I'm gonna look it up right now. But I definitely disagree with you. Hold on. I just want to make sure I get her name right. Kristen Schaal. Kristen Schaal started out with Flight of the Conchords, which is brilliant, and she's Louise from Bob's Burgers. So I don't know that I agree with that one. But in this film, I thought she was okay. I also don't think that she had much to do. The subplot / sort of main plot with the daughters, I like the actresses. I think that it was very poorly written, and at times it seemed like they were just doing Keanu and Alex Bill and Ted impressions. So I don't know how I felt about that. That sort of, it worked sometimes, it didn't work other times. The princesses are almost non-existent. They have a subplot that literally goes nowhere. So I gotta say, the script in this really was a mess. There was also a character that there was a robot character in this. I don't want to give away like what it's all about, but I see some people said it worked for them. It didn't work for me. The comedy was just not there. So look, overall, I'm not like going to give a score or anything. Here's what I'll say. If you're a big fan of the first two Bill and Ted's, which I am, I feel like you could get like nostalgic feels out of this, but that's as much as you're going to get, to me. It's not a film that would I recommend it to somebody. I feel like I'll say this. If you're a fan of the first two Bill and Ted's, I would recommend this for you. There's something you can get out of this. If you didn't like the first two, I don't see how I could recommend it to you. Trini says, I like how the movie didn't try to live up to any expectations. It just went out to have fun making a movie. And that I agree with 100%. You can tell 100% that this was not a cash grab. This was not Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter and the producers saying, let's jump in on this nostalgia train. Like, you could tell, which is why I said I did a lot more smiling than I did laughing. You could tell 100% that like they made this movie because they love the property and they love the characters. You could feel that, right? You could feel that. The one thing that I will give credit to for the script is that it wasn't a nostalgia like, hey, remember this? Hey, remember that? There was none of that. There was absolutely none of that. Anything that they threw in there that was like a, hey, remember this, was like plot driven. And that's how you're supposed to do it, right? You're supposed to give you things from the previous parts of the franchise, but naturally in them, not just like it popping up. And so that I give full credit. It's just the story. I wish they had crafted a better story. And like, this movie was an hour and a half, and it was like the perfect length. But I feel like with some of these subplots, like an extra 20 minutes would have been so much better. Now maybe it would have thrown the whole film off of a low budget comedy. To have an extra 20 minutes of stuff with the princesses, or a little bit more fleshing out some of the stuff with the daughters, and maybe the flow and the pacing of the film would have been off. But I felt like some of those subplots weren't really fleshed out and realized, and so I gotta imagine, I have to imagine there's so much on the cutting room floor for this one. I almost compare this film to Jay and Silent Bob reboot, a film that like I was extremely looking forward to. Big fan of the previous franchise. Big fan of Bill and Ted movies. Big fan of Kevin Smith movies. And with reboot, it was almost like, again, I smiled more than I laughed. Was I a fan of Death's character? In this one, yeah, I didn't have a problem with what it was. It's not as, I'll say this, it's not as big as maybe people would like. It's not small, but it's not as big as people would like. But what they had him do, I would say yes. I think that they did a good job with it. So look, I really was hoping to come here this morning and be like gushing about it. I don't think it was a horrible movie, not by any stretch of the imagination. It was not a horrible movie. I don't know. I didn't get as many laughs as I hoped, and the story was kind of a mess. So it was fine. It was fine. But if you liked it and you loved it, I saw, I think Drew said it was most excellent. If that's the case, that's awesome. That's so awesome. I honestly hope more people liked it than I didn't. You know what I mean? I hope so. Here we go. All right, let's talk some box office. So on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. We talked box office and what you guys thought New Mutants was going to make. I said, and remember we took a poll. We didn't do betting, but we did take a poll. And I had said between 7 and 7.9 this is going to make. I was right. Right now, until we get the actuals later today, New Mutants landing at 7 mil. You said 15. I definitely didn't say 15. I voted for 7 to 7.9. You can go back and watch the tape. But you know what? A lot of you said where it was actually like definitely like split, as a lot of people went. Oh, I meant on Josh's stream. No, I said, yeah, what I said was originally I originally thought it was going to be 10 to 15, but that I was adjusting because of the reviews. I thought that this would do more. I actually think the reviews hurt this for sure. Because I know on Friday, a lot of you said you thought this could hit 10. A lot of you in the poll said that. And then also a lot of you said you didn't think it was going to make even 7. A lot of you went like 5 to 6. So sort of right in the middle of what projections were. I didn't see this. I have no theaters open by me. So I can't see any movies in the theater right now. Trini says, Adam, go watch New Mutants. I'll pay you. FaceTime me the whole movie. If I could, maybe I would. But I don't have a theater open near me. So can't see this, can't see Tenet. So unfortunately, that's not a thing. But 7 mil. Now look, let's look at the numbers just a little bit. So it made 7 mil at about 2,400 theaters at a 2,900 per theater average. Now I gotta say that's not horrible. Look, the number 7, not great, obviously not great. But I gotta say, at a 2.9 per theater average, I feel like had this movie come out in theaters that, one, could have full capacity, and 2, some major areas that aren't open. Hold on, what did this said? Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., all of New Jersey, and all of New York have no theaters. I gotta say, I think despite the fact that not a whole lot of theaters were showing it, and they were at like max, at like not max capacity, I think this might, in like an alternate reality, I think this movie might have done well. I think this movie could have opened to like 20. Had all things been equal. We'll never know. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that worries me. I know. I know that the plan is to like extend out and have films with long legs. I don't know how likely that is. I think people were really expecting films to like play for a while, but the fact that Unhinged dropped 35%. Look, normally that's not that bad. Normally, like you want like a 30 to 40% drop. Hell, even anything under 50 is pretty good. But I gotta say, I feel like in times where like there's not much competition, that this should have been more closer to 25. I'm very curious to see what happens next week, and we'll discuss it more at the end of the week on Thursday. What you guys think the drop is going to be and how much New Mutants is going to make next weekend. I'm curious. I don't know, man. I don't know if and especially like with Unhinged, where it jumped up 500 theaters. I felt like this should have been less. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And Tenet apparently did well overseas. 53 million internationally. What's Unhinged? That's the Russell Crowe road rage movie. Yeah, Tenet did about 53 overseas, which is pretty good. Which is not bad. It opens next weekend, this upcoming weekend. So we are certainly on Thursday going to be talking Tenet and what you guys think it's going to make opening weekend. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking yet. I'm thinking maybe 15. Bad choice to go up against the boys? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think the audiences cross over as much as you think. And also the boys, it's not, the whole season's not dropping. It's just the first 3 episodes. So it's not like you need to spend a whole weekend binging a movie or binging a show, right? 3 episodes, an hour, 45 to an hour each. That's like the amount of watching a movie. You could watch The Boys on Friday and still have Saturday and Sunday to go see Tenet. And again, I don't think the audiences are like completely overcrossed. I think there's some overlap, but if we're talking about a Venn diagram of it, I don't think it's as big of a crossover as obviously you think. I want to see Tenet. Has anyone heard how Pattinson's performance was? I enjoyed Lighthouse, but still find him one-dimensional. I think his facial expressions are great, but everything else lacked. I don't know, Drew. I haven't read reviews about it. I've heard generally positive things, but I have not read anything specific yet. I'm sort of waiting until I see it. So I don't know. But yeah. I am excited to see it. I just don't know when I'm going to be able to. We'll see. Maybe by they just finally opened restaurants for indoor dining starting next week. So maybe the following week movie theaters will be open. So we'll see. And then we got Mulan coming up soon, which Can I say this? This is not official. I don't even know if the screen grab was real, but there's a rumor going around from a screenshot from Screen Rant. So I right off the bat, I'm just like, ugh. But that Mulan will jump to Disney Plus regular in December. And if that's the case, my prediction of how much it's going to make might have to adjust. I don't know. But I also don't know like how much normies know that this is a thing. So we'll see. How's The Boys? I haven't seen it. I love Carl Urban. Is the show worth binge watching? 100%. It's very R-rated. It's so if that's not your thing, then it might not be. It's very R-rated. It's very like deconstructing superheroes and how superheroes aren't necessarily as good as you think they are. And it's very violent. It's funny. I really enjoy it. And it's already greenlit, and I think they're working on. I don't know if they're shooting yet, but season 3 is already in the works. So at the very least, you know that like if you jump into it now, season 2 is not going to be the end. They're definitely doing season 3. I like your shirt. Are you supposed to be Crabman? Yeah. Yeah, I like this shirt too. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I have to make today sort of a shorter show. I have some real world things that I need to do today. That because of my job. And because of some of the things that did happen over the weekend, I need to take care of that stuff. But I definitely wanted to stream for a little bit to talk this stuff, talk the movie review, talk box office, because that's what we're gonna, I said on Friday, oh yeah, everything's totally fine, no issues. It's work stuff. It's all just work stuff. So it's all good. But normally I can push it off till after the stream, but today because of all the stuff that went down over the weekend, I have some work I have to do. So thank you all for hanging out. This was fun. Normally I would shoot you over to Josh, but I'm ending early, and I think there's 0% chance that he has a thing up, and I'm not even gonna look. So thanks for hanging out today, everybody. I apologize for the short stream, but tomorrow it'll be nice and long and normal size tomorrow. No, above average size tomorrow, for sure. What is this song? Can we end on a better song? All right, that's better. All right. Yeah, no, in all honesty, thank you all for hanging out today. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, and I can't wait to talk with y'all. Tomorrow we'll get the actuals for box office. We'll talk about that and talk about we'll probably talk about that. Am I lying? I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great Monday.